This is the TNX. And to me, these are still in play. These are the minor quarters. Not sure why this continues to behave strangely, but this is the first minor quarter. This is the second minor quarter right there. This is the third right there. And we see another rally off that rise, and then another sell. That really looks like the overall price path to me moving forward. We see possibly a little bit lower, but overall be looking for a bounce here in yields to then fail, and then for it to turn down one more time. And I don't think this is by accident, right? When is the low due in yields? The low is due 428 to 69. When is the low that's due in both the SPX and the NDX? Right around that same timing. So if we had to build in our mind a little bit of a narrative, right? We see a growth scare really in the first half that pushes up, into the first half, that sees yields get sold and a bid come into the bond market. And then after that, we see a move back up, likely a little bit more sharply here on the upside, as we see yields go up and we see a bounce back to the upside in the overall market. So that's a higher likelihood scenario. But we have to see. There is obviously a lot that can happen between now and then, but that is something that I do want to keep on the radar. On the short term, there's a trough that's due shortly here. We have possibly one more dip down, or we may have just formed that low right there. And we'll be watching for it to get a curl back to the upside here, as we are looking for actually a dip to come into both the bonds and notes. Let me show you that. So this is both the notes, and then we will show you the bonds after, of course. We had a trough that formed now. The RS has turned up, and we are still looking at overall higher levels. We just said we are looking for lower yields, so that does make sense on the intermediate term to be looking for higher prices, right? We have a level from 112, 170, then there's a 78.6 around 113, 290. On the daily chart, 312 to 321 is when that low is due. The reason I'm saying that we may have just formed a short-term trough here in yields is I'm looking for a little bit of a dip, and we are looking for a little bit of a dip in the notes to form the bullish right-hand translation on the dominant cycle, correct? And then after that, we'd be looking for it to curl up again, as this is as I said, a bullish right-hand translation. We have now a higher high versus the old high. That says this old high would be in play in that next rising phase, right? Using the overall process here to help to understand timing. If there is a trough that is due on the minor weekly cycle in yields, that would imply we would see a dip here in the short term in notes to see that flag form, then look for it to turn up. Now, what would have this get more negative is if this were to lose that 61.8 on a closing basis at right around 109.005. That's what we just have to watch out for.